Well, good morning. It's Monday, May the 17th, and welcome to the reading of the Mansfield News Journal. My name is Pam, and let's just begin with area deaths. Charlotte A. Blake, age 77, passed away May 10th. Graveside service at 10 a.m. on Saturday, May 15th, at Mansfield Cemetery. Melvin Gibson Jr., 83, of Mansfield, went home to be with his Lord Wednesday evening, May 12th, at Liberty Nursing Center in Mansfield. The family will receive friends 1 to 3 p.m. Wednesday, May 19th, at the Ontario home of Wapner Funeral Directors. The funeral service will immediately follow at 3 p.m. Thomas M. Nichols, 84, of Mansfield, got up early Sunday morning, November 29th. A gathering of family and friends will be held on Saturday, May 22nd, from 4 to 6 p.m. at Grace Fellowship Church. An additional hour of gathering will be held from 2 to 3 p.m. on Sunday, May 23rd. The memorial service will follow immediately at 3 p.m. at the church. Marion Sheriff McGee left this earthly world on May 12th. The family will receive friends from 9:30 to 11 a.m. Tuesday, May 18th, at the Ontario home of Wapner Funeral Directors, 100 South Lexington, Spring Mill Road. The funeral service, conducted by Reverend Dallas E. Waggle, will immediately follow at 11 a.m. Christopher Vandenberg, 42, of Mansfield, died April 27th at Ohio Health Med Center Hospital. Arrangements for a service are being planned. And that completes the area deaths listed in today's online edition. So we will begin with our first story. Richland County's COVID-19 case rate declining, by Monroe Trombley. The rate of people in Richland County contracting COVID-19 has dropped dramatically since last week. The number of new cases per 100,000 residents in the past 2 weeks, as of Thursday, declined to 116 from 143, according to the state's Public Health Advisory System, or the COVID heat map. The incident rate for all 88 Ohio counties is shared each Thursday on the Ohio Department of Health's online dashboard. The state of COVID-19 vaccinations in Richland County. Meanwhile, the vaccination rate in Richland County remains low compared to previous months of the vaccination effort. As of Thursday, 37,972 people, approximately 31.34% of the county's population, has received at least one shot of a COVID-19 vaccine, according to the state's online coronavirus dashboard, while 33,874 people were fully vaccinated. To compare, 37,127 people, approximately 30.64% of the county's population, had received at least one dose of a vaccine by May 6th, while 32,744 were counted as being fully vaccinated. Richland County reported 141 cases in the last 2 weeks and has the 33rd highest number of cases per capita among Ohio counties, compared to the 21st highest last week. This week, Richland County triggered 2 of the Public Health Advisory System's 7 indicators, the same amount as last week. The indicators are used to determine which level denotes by color counties will be on the Ohio COVID-19 map. Richland County remains red for the 21st straight week. Richland has been red, the system's second highest level, for 21 consecutive weeks, largely due to its high incident rate. The overall incident rate in Ohio is 119.9 cases per 100,000 residents. That's down from 140.2 cases last week. Governor Mike DeWine has promised to lift all health orders when the statewide case rate drops below 50 per 100,000 residents, but said Wednesday during an address that all health orders would be lifted June the 2nd. Coronavirus hospitalization rates drop. As with cases, virus-related hospitalizations in Richland County's hospital region dropped this week as well. On Thursday, there were 168 COVID-19 patients across 13 Northeast Ohio counties, including Richland County, according to the Ohio Hospital Association. That's down from 211 last week. Richland County, as of Thursday, had recorded 11,409, or 111 since May 6th, with 621 hospitalizations, 199 deaths since the pandemic began, according to the Ohio Department of Health. And moving on. Shelby, Galion officials oppose consolidating small health departments, by Monroe Trombley. Shelby and Galion officials are firmly opposed to a proposal from Ohio lawmakers that would potentially close their health departments. Language in Ohio's two-year budget requires cities with fewer than 50,000 residents to complete a study evaluating the efficiency and effectiveness of merging with the county health department. The change could consolidate as many as 18 of the state's 113 health departments, including the Shelby and Galion Health Department. "What happened to local control?" said Galion Mayor Tom O'Leary, who's also president of the city's health board. "Local control is good for Ohio. This kind of thing is bad for Ohio." Out of touch in Columbus. In an interview, O'Leary said the proposal demonstrates just how out of touch state lawmakers are with local government. Most local government officials, particularly in this issue, that have health departments, know far more about public health than any one of those people in Columbus, O'Leary said. Under the proposed change, the Ohio Department of Health and State Auditor's Office would create criteria to determine whether departments should merge, and the state would allocate $6 million for these studies. If the study indicated that the smaller health department should be consolidated, the city would have to enter into a contract with the county health department. Representative Bill Romer, Republican from Richfield, who proposed the change, told the Cincinnati Enquirer that he wants to ensure Ohioans are getting comprehensive care, and that is threatened by a patchwork of services statewide. "A little power grab. I don't know what gaps in service he's alluding to," said O'Leary. "I don't know why somebody would be motivated for such a little power grab." Shelby City Health Department receives about $2,000 in state funding, according to Steve Shag, mayor and head of the department. The majority of its funding comes from two tax levies, one of which was last renewed in 2016 with 60% of the vote. "The monies we're getting from the state are minuscule in the big picture," Shag said. "I think most health departments of our size are saying, if it's a budgetary thing and we are qualified health departments, we don't really need that state money. They could spend that somewhere else, and we can get along very well with local revenues." Shelby residents benefit from having their own health department, Shag argued in an interview, saying that Shelby's sanitarian responds to complaints in less than a day, and nurses provide educational services. "Everything is closer to home, more personal, but yet with no loss of professionalism," Shag said. "Sees no reason to change. We are efficient and effective as we stand, and I don't think that efficiency and effectiveness would be improved by a merger. I love our friends at Richland Public Health, and we've got a great relationship in Richland County among all our cities and villages. But I think it's been working very well the way it is, and I see no reason to change it." Before it was passed last month by the Ohio House of Representatives, an earlier version of the two-year $74.7 billion budget called for abolishing all health departments within cities of fewer than 50,000 residents. State Representative Marilyn John, who represents Richland County and served as Shelby's mayor between 2009 and 2015, said she submitted an amendment to strike that language. Lawmakers then decided to allocate $6 million for the feasibility study. "While I voted for the budget, I am still opposed to that language and have advocated with Senate leaderships to have that language removed, and we'll see what happens when they pass the budget," she said in an interview. John said this is a matter of local control. Two levies support health department. "If the residents of the city of Shelby do not wish to have a health district, they can simply not vote for the health levy," she said. "But they historically have voted and supported the local health district with two levies because they want their own health department. The total for the 19 health districts that this impacts is a cost less than $57,000 in the state of Ohio. To me, it doesn't make sense to spend $6 million to save $57,000. On Friday, Shelby learns whether its health department will become nationally accredited, the culmination of a years-long process. Having resources about a 5-minute drive from your home, I think that's a huge advantage for our citizens rather than having to travel to another part of the country, Shag said. Lawmakers in the Ohio Senate are reviewing changes to the state budget, which must be approved by June 30th. Our next article, Mansfield Playhouse receives grant money for stage lighting system. The Mansfield Playhouse has been awarded a $50,000 grant money for its capital improvements. These funds will be directly used for a much-needed upgrading to the stage lighting system. As the local community theater has been closed for nearly a year because of the pandemic, the arts organization has used the time as an opportunity to invest in itself by making improvements and much-needed repairs to the facility. During these renovations, grants were written to make updates to their technology and production equipment. Board President Doug Wirtz has been pursuing this project for several reasons. By updating to new LED instrumentation, the Playhouse will reap several benefits, he said. The safety of those handling the instruments will be increased as they stay cool, where the current fixtures put out extreme heat to touch. Energy consumption will also drop, and bulb replacement will be dramatically reduced, adding the benefit of maintenance savings. Besides the physical advantage of the new lighting system, the advancement in technology is worlds apart. Wirtz is also excited because this technology will greatly expand the educational experience for volunteers in lighting design. Enhancing each production with the wide range of flexibility the system offers is surely to make the audience experiences more enjoyable as well. Once we were told of the grant's awards to our final goal, I cried, Wirtz said. This is a big deal for the Mansfield Playhouse. It truly shows the support of community members and raises the bar for us to constantly strive for professional quality in all we do. To all involved, we thank you. Grants were awarded through the Richland County Foundation representing the Robert and Esther Black Family Foundation and Fund, and the John P. Gross Fund in memory of Melody Gross. The Playhouse was able to match other funding needed with the Landers Family Foundation independently. The Mansfield Playhouse has been in its current location since 1967 and will continue to look for ways to make improvements to enhance its purpose as Ohio's second oldest continuously producing community theater, making the 95th East 3rd Street location more of a destination point for audiences, volunteers, and those wanting to explore theater and all it has to offer. As a 501c3 nonprofit, the Playhouse accepts tax-deductible donations to further its operations and enhance the community through the experience of live theater at its best. Donations can be offered at its website, www.mansfieldplayhouse.com. And moving on, restaurants struggle to keep food on the tables. Owners and managers say people apply for jobs, but few show up. By Mark Cottle. Tabitha Nightingale, an assistant general manager for Fazoli's in Ontario, is working more than 100 hours a week out of necessity. I haven't been this mentally broken in years, she said. COVID and unemployment have made restaurant work difficult. It used to be manageable. According to restaurantmanifesto.com, finding qualified staff willing to work has emerged as one of the biggest challenges to recovery. As access to vaccinations expand and COVID cases decline, consumer demand for dining out has grown, but the pool of restaurant workers, many who have been relying on unemployment benefits for months, has not. Everybody's going to be going out with a vengeance, says Lisa Slexick, co-owner of Buck's Bar and Grill in Lexington. We don't have enough bodies to take care of them. CDC eases mask mandate. On Thursday, the Federal Centers for Disease Control ruled people who are fully vaccinated against COVID-19 can go without masks indoors and outdoors, with a few exceptions, such as hospitals and nursing homes. Many former restaurant employees have been content to receive unemployment benefits. Nightingale said a former assistant general manager at Fazoli's wanted to be fired to collect unemployment. But that situation could be changing. Governor Mike DeWine announced Ohio will end the $300 weekly unemployment bump on June 26th. Where are the employees? All of the restaurant people who spoke to the News Journal for this story lamented a lack of work. Gabriel Lash is the general manager at Paul's Drive-In, a Shelby institution since 1956. What I'm expecting is there's just nobody applying in the first place, Lash said. You have to advertise more than ever. Lash has relied on social media to get the word out. Paul's has always counted on teenagers to fill a number of spots. That has its own problems. I can only work them 18 hours a week, Lash said. That includes no more than 3 hours on a school day. Those employees also have to leave by 7 p.m. on school days, Lash said. Staff is short 10 workers. Paul's normally employs at least 40 people and is short about 10. During his interview with the News Journal, Lash checked to make sure a customer had been waited on. Later, he took the order from a table of 3. Fazoli's is facing the same situation. We're struggling to have adults work here. They'd rather get unemployment, Nightingale said. Of the 31 workers at the Ontario Eatery, only 5 are over 18. Nightingale said adults typically make up about half of the staff. Only 14-year-olds will apply now because nobody else will hire them, she said. While Nightingale is hourly, her boss is salaried. He works just as many hours as she does. He is working for literally nothing part of the time, she said. It's rough. It's really, really hard. On Friday morning, Nightingale said the only people working were managers. Every weekday, I've had 3 to 5 people, she said. We're supposed to have 9 to 13. Nightingale started working at Fazoli's in January as a favor to a friend. She has children. My kids are like, Mom, we never see you, she said. People don't want to work. Slexix, who has co-owned Bucks with husband Mark for 8 years, said they've received more than 50 applications since January. I would say 3 showed up for an interview or even responded, she said. About a month ago, because of the lack of employees, Bucks closed on Sundays and Mondays. The Lexington staple has 9 employees instead of the usual 23 to 25. We have to keep our core strong, Slexix said. We can handle 5 days, but we can't handle 7. Slexix said Buck is shorthanded in every position. In 2019, everyone was raving about our patio, she said. We cannot open our patio until we get some help. We might not be able to open it this summer. Slexix is confident her core group will hang together, calling them a well-oiled machine. We love working together, she said. Susan Vander Maas is the proprietor of Doc's Deli on Glessner Avenue in Mansfield. She identified with her counterpart at Bucks about applicants not following through with the process. It's really sad, Vander Maas said. It's been a struggle getting someone to show up for an interview, let alone show up for a job. Delivery business is booming. Doc's relies on delivery. Vander Maas said the deli does tons of business, delivering to businesses between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. A delivery driver who has been there for only 2 weeks already has given her notice because she's moving. We just got her trained, Vander Maas lamented. Some of the employees in the restaurant industry have not been reliable in the time of COVID-19. We get a lot of call-offs and requests for time off, Lash said. I don't know the reason. It's just more difficult to keep them working, Vander Maas agreed. If someone's sick and someone can't fill in, it hurts everyone, from the staff to the customers, she said. There has been at least one positive during the pandemic, she said. Vander Maas cut back to working 3 days a week earlier in the pandemic, which allowed her time to develop an online ordering system. Business is not the problem. The Ontario Fazoli is doing record sales. We're doing 40,000 in sales a week, Nightingale said, adding that figure was 23,000 a year ago. Doc's is doing tons of catering after doing almost none last year, Vandermoss said. Slexic said the opportunities are there if people want them. She appealed to young, energetic people looking to enter the field, saying they could move ahead much quicker than previously. If you ever wanted a job of your lifetime, now's the time to get it, Slexic said. And our next article. Judge is accused of using racist language. Columbus attorney alleges comments made in chambers, by Mark Cottle. Municipal Court Judge Frank Artis Jr. has been accused of making racially charged comments to a Columbus attorney. The comments are included in an affidavit of disqualification filed May 5th with the Ohio Supreme Court. Samuel Szymanski alleges the longtime judge was engaged in small talk with one of Szymanski's associates, Ashton Gitanos, during a pretrial on March 9th, when he asked whether Columbus police are still kissing the black asses. Artis later reportedly said, "Columbus police are effing stupid." Gitanos confirmed the comments in an affidavit. Assistant Law Director Byron Traynor was also present. He could not be reached for comment. No timetable for decision. There is no official timetable for when the Chief Justice will make a decision on the affidavit of disqualifying the judge from the case, spokesman Ed Miller told the News Journal. On May 6th, the Chief Justice issued an entry requesting Judge Artis to file a response to the affidavit, Miller said in an email. The judge has 21 days from the date of the Chief's entry to submit his response. Upon receipt of the judge's response, the Chief Justice will receive the matter and render a decision. Artis declining to comment for this article while the case is pending. Szymanski, whose office is handling the case of State of Ohio versus Shane Weiss in Mansfield Municipal Court, said in his filing that the affidavit of disqualification pertains to the prejudice, bias, and other grounds to assign another judge. Private law practice for 35 years. Prior to his appointment to Mansfield Municipal Court by then Governor Ted Strickland in January 2010, Artis was in private practice as a senior partner in a Mansfield law firm for more than 35 years, concentrating on personal injury, civil litigation, criminal defense, and probate practice. Artis, who cannot seek another term because of age limits, also served as a part-time assistant Richland County prosecutor from 2007 until his appointment as judge in 2010. The majority of Szymanski's affidavit of disqualification maintains that Artis abused his power as a judge, specifically regarding requests for continuances or delays in the Weiss cases. Szymanski claimed Artis went so far as to have staffers or the law director's office check on reasons he gave for the continuances. Counsel, respectively, submits that Judge Artis' conduct to wit: number 1, denial of a continuance where defense counsel is engaged in another jury trial involving a defendant who is incarcerated, charged with murder, and out of speedy trial time. 2, engaging in communications with the goal of surreptitiously investigating the veracity of counsel's conflict. 3, overt hostility to counsel's out-of-the-county residence and or city of residence. 4, attempting to coerce counsel into abandoning or an ongoing murder trial. 5, engaging in retaliatory conduct by incurring unnecessary jury costs and then ordering counsel to pay them. 6, initiating a meritless contempt proceedings without proper notice. It might reasonably be inferred that Judge Artis has a personal bias against either Mr. Weiss or counsel himself, and that Judge Artis impartially might reasonably be questioned. Must pay $630 for juror costs. According to the online docket, Artis filed an order for Szymanski to pay the cost for 24 jurors in the Weiss case, amounting to $630. Counsel respectably submits that Judge Artist's comments during the March 9th pretrial reflect a bias or prejudice against counsel's status as an out-of-county attorney or as a resident of Columbus, Szymanski wrote. Further, the Columbus attorney said the judge's repeated denial of motions of continuance constituted an abuse of discretion. Szymanski said Artist does not have the authority to make him pay jury costs, alleging the order is clearly intended to retaliate against counsel for completing his ongoing trial. Given Judge Artist's apparent bias towards counsel, which has been amply demonstrated by his conduct with the Weiss case and disregard for the revised code and rules of judicial conduct, disqualification is the only appropriate measure to preserve the public's confidence in the integrity of the judicial system, Szymanski wrote. Improvements made at court. Along with fellow Judge Jerry Alt, Artist is credited with making many improvements to Mansfield Municipal Court, including a mediation program to resolve civil disputes and instituting drug and alcohol, domestic violence, and veterans court specialized dockets. While in private law practice, Artist served as attorney and guardian for more than 40 mentally ill persons, and now operates as a specialized mental health court to treat mentally ill criminal offenders. Well, did you know the Bookmobile is coming to your neighborhood soon? By Lou Whitmire. Don't have transportation to get to the library, but love to read books and more? Your worries are over. The Mansfield-Richland County Public Library is introducing its new Bookmobile to Richland County this month, which will be coming to neighborhoods throughout the county. The Bookmobile, a Mercedes Sprinter van, will offer a collection of library materials for customers to browse and will serve as a return site and pickup location for on-hold items and other services. Chris May, the library director, said outreach is a key component to our mission, which strives to make the library accessible to all. The Bookmobile is a mobile opportunity to bring resources to care communities, schools, and public spaces, with particular emphasis on visiting neighborhoods where residents may have difficulty finding the time or transportation to get to a library building. May said the Bookmobile holds 1,501,700 items, from books and CDs to DVDs and more. Things you can do in a Bookmobile: get a library card, pick up holds, return materials, check out books, DVDs, and video games for all ages. The cost of the Bookmobile was $178,900, May said. The county's last Bookmobile was phased out in the 1980s, he added. He said any of the outreach librarians can drive the vehicle. The library's outreach department, led by Ann Rhodes, will be responsible for services provided by this new resource, including staffing. The staff members already are experts at developing relationships and connections with Richland County's underserved through established programs like Books by Mail and lobby stops. Rhodes said the outreach team is looking forward to bringing this resource to Richland County. In addition to the traditional library collection, it is a mobile opportunity to offer a variety of engaging activities, including story time and educational art and music programs. She said the increased mobility will provide nearly endless outreach possibilities. Bookmobile makes debut at Mid-Ohio Home Show. The Bookmobile, The Bookmobile will debut at the Mid-Ohio Home Show at the Richland County Fairgrounds, 750 North Home Road, from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. May 22nd. Home show goers are encouraged to stop by the vehicle and take a tour. In addition, the Bookmobile will tour each of the library's 9 locations on the following dates: May 26th, Madison Branch, 1395 Gray Street, noon to 1:30 p.m. Crestview Branch, 1575 Ohio 96 East, 2 to 3 p.m. and the Plymouth Branch, 29 West Broadway Street, from 4 to 5:30 p.m. On May 27th, Belleville Branch, 97 Bell Street, 1 to 2 p.m. Butler Branch, 21 Elm Street, 2:45 to 3:30 p.m. And the Lucas Branch, 34 West Main Street, 4:15 to 5:30 p.m. On May 28th, the Lexington Branch at 25 Lutz Avenue from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. and the Ontario Branch, 2221 Village Mall Drive, 2 to 3:30. The Outreach Department is working on adding bookmobile stops at more locations and events throughout the remainder of the year. And this concludes the reading of the Mansfield News Journal. My name is Pam. Thank you for having me in your home. Stay safe and be well. And my wish for you is to be abundantly blessed today.